When Damian Wayne finally gets a chance for vengeance against the man who killed Alfred, him and Batman will take a trip to Dinosaur Island. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Batman and Robin issue number 11 and find out together, shall we? So then, this issue wastes absolutely no time getting started and comes out of the gate absolutely swinging as we check on in with Bane on his brand new home of Dinosaur Island. The man who broke the bat hunts a T-Rex for sport before ripping off his skin and turning it into clothing. He then proudly scales the tallest mountaintop he can find before proudly declaring himself to no one in particular that he is the king now. And honestly, after witnessing him do a bunch of boss shit like that, kind of hard to deny the sentiment, am I right? From there we transition on over to Batman and Robin, who are making their way to the island. Obviously this isn't their first rodeo with Dinosaur Island, so they know to be prepared, but even then, this place's weird elements play havoc with the Batwing's computer system, and once a flock of pterodactyls ends up fleeing directly into the dynamic duo's general presence, the only thing our heroes can do is make a very last-second crash landing. For what it's worth too, Damian demanded on coming alone, but Bruce refused, figuring that his son is at a real crossroads when it comes to his morality right now. And like a good parent, Bruce wants to be here to support his son through a tough time. Now, our team isn't on the ground for long when they end up coming face to face with Maya Ducard, aka Nobody. In fact, Nobody ends up doing the whole Pink Panther Inspector Clouseau thing by just straight up attacking Robin. Why? Yeah, it's just kind of a thing we do. The funny part is Batman isn't even mad either. He's like, oh yeah, your granddad Ducard would love to sneak attack me as well when I was training with him. It's nice to see that that's alive and well in his granddaughter. Damian and Maya take this opportunity to catch up with one another. Damian mentions that he's going to school, and we actually flash back in time to the night before in Gotham City. Bruce and Damian have to concoct a cover story as to why he's going to be missing school for the next little bit, and it's here that Williamson goes out of his way to really reiterate that the emotional meat of this story is still very much about Damian's unresolved feelings regarding Alfred's murder. Again, remember, back in Tom King's Gotham War, Bane killed Alfred right in front of Damian, and he hasn't really managed to deal with a lot of the grief and trauma. Or at the very least, him and Batman haven't dealt with it together like they should, and you get the strong feeling if they're going to get over it, they're going to have to get over it together. Lest it's just going to keep causing problems in their relationship, both as superheroes and father and son. In fact, Maya even says, hey, are you guys cool with each other this week? It's so hard to keep track. Batman asked Nobody how exactly she was able to track down Bane when seemingly no one else could, and she says it's quite simple. Once she had exhausted all the obvious places that Bane might have run to hide, the only places left were the unobvious ones, your Nanda Parbats, your Gem Worlds, and eventually Dinosaur Island. Here's the rub though, Bane isn't the only problem they have to contend with on the island, as it seems that the Cult of the Cobra has set up shop here as well, capturing and experimenting on the island's local dinosaur populace. And I mean, hey, it makes sense, they're a snake cult, and what are dinosaurs if not bigger, nastier reptiles? The truly surprising thing though is that Bane himself seems to be in active conflict with the cultists breaking up their poaching operation. And while Bane still fights with ferocity and extreme prejudice, as Maya explains, he hasn't actually killed any of the cultists yet, which seems very much unlike him. Seeing Bane in action naturally causes Damian to have himself a horrible flashback to the day that Alfred was killed. And before Batman can properly talk his son down, Robin has already mounted a dinosaur and riding into battle, sword drawn, again making it seem very likely that Damian could very well throw away all the good work he's done in the last couple years by taking another life. Batman tries to give chase after his son, only to be grabbed from behind by Vengeance, Bane's own clone daughter, who we haven't seen since that James Tynion Joker book, and it's on that shocking note right there the comic comes to a close. And so that was Batman and Robin issue number 11, and I gotta say here, Joshua Williamson once again really brings the heat with this story. The whole thing pretty much writes itself. Damian has been chomping at the bit to finally have a reckoning with Bane over what he did to Alfred. In fact, he could pretty much much think that Joshua Williamson's entire time writing Damian has been building up to this one moment. Williamson has of course shown in stuff like Bane One Bad Day that he has an amazing talent for writing the character, and in some cases, like in the bulk of this story, he doesn't need to write dialogue for him at all, just let his physicality do the storytelling for him. Then there's also the reintroduction of vengeance, which for a book called Batman and Robin actually makes a lot of sense. Batman and his son are now going up against Bane and his daughter. It's of course also been announced that this is going to be Joshua Williamson's final arc on the Batman and Robin book, and while it's certainly sad to see him go, it looks like this story has every opportunity to be one of his best and most emotionally resonant, as well as put a nice little bow on all of Williamson's time writing Damian, which has been substantial at this point. Overall, I would give this one an 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.